Good morning, everyone. Good afternoon. My name is LaDawn Black. I'm the host of the LaDawn Black Show on WBLS on Sunday, starting at 10 a.m. I'm excited to be doing a few of the interviews today on the Circle of Sisters interview stage. Coming to the stage right now is the cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville. Anybody watch Love and Marriage Huntsville? Well, I'm going to bring to the stage Miss Melody Holtz. Put your hands together for Miss Okay, who's coming to the stage first? I have Kimberly Scott coming to the stage first. Next up is Miss Melody Holtz. She's coming up. And then we have Letitia Scott coming up. The cast of Love and Marriage Huntsville on OWN. Welcome, ladies. Please have a seat. Now, you know, I want to jump all into the show because I love the show. Now, let's start here. I've been married 21 years.
Congratulations.
Okay, so I want to know, as married women, are you comfortable opening up your marriages to the world, letting people see the good and the bad?
I will start out, for me, I'm very comfortable with it because that was kind of what we decided to do in the beginning, was to be transparent. There are so many issues that we all have in common that we all suffer from, but we never really talk about it. So a lot of times you feel like it's only you or you're alone because people aren't talking about it. So we made the decision to be very transparent and allow people into what we were going through in hopes that it would show some of the what to do and what not to do.
That is so true. Now, Letitia, I really like your story because you are someone who's been home, a stay-at-home mom, and you're making that transition to do really what you want to do, pursue your dreams and your goals. So what do you think about your journey as you sort of push more out there to be outside of the home and not just home-focused?
So it's been a difficult journey, but a fun journey for me because, as you know, my husband's like, well, you're being selfish because you're putting yourself in front of your family. And it's like, no, you're not being selfish because you still want to live out your dreams. And just because you have a family and kids, you should not forget about yourself. And that's why it's important for me to show everybody the transition between from being a stay-at-home mom to getting into the career in the workforce and the steps that I'm taking to make sure my family is secure and my kids are good, but also I am doing things to empower myself.
So what advice would you give a woman who's trying to strike that balance? You want everything at home to go well, but you also want to do a little something for yourself as well. What is that tip for striking balance?
Dig deep inside of you and figure out what you want to do and take those steps and have that open line of communication with your husband. Although he may not support you in the beginning, but once you show him, I'm serious about this is something I really want to do, he's going to get on board.
I hear you, sister, on that. Now, Kimberly, your story is very unique because you're dealing with the blending of a family and an ex who hasn't necessarily gone away because they share a child. So talk to us a little bit about, being a stepmom and working with that ex when that really wasn't in your plan initially.
Well, for me, I had a son as well. So I came with a package and he came with a package. So we both knew going in that it was a package deal. The dilemma comes in when you try to blend the grown-ups with the children. The children part is easy. That's not difficult at all.
That's so true.
The adults are more difficult than the blending of the children. So that's the part that we like to talk about because everybody goes through this part. Everybody has a mama, the baby's daddy, the baby's mama that we got to get along with in order to have the best child's interest at heart. And so that's where we go.
I love it. Now I'm going to ask all three ladies this question. You are friends, you're relatives in a sense too, and you're mixing business in. How is that working out? Can you be friends and have a business together? Can you mix money and personal?
And that's what you guys are going to see play out on the show. It's like, should you really mix business and friendship together? I mean, for us, we have a love for each other. Our friendship was so strong. But then once we mixed business in with it, it shook it up a little bit. So we're going to see if we can survive that.
So talk to us a little bit, Melody, because a lot of your personal issues have been aired out on the show. what do you think, or what do you hope women can get from you sharing very intimate details of what you're going through in your marriage?
What I really hope is that the viewers who are tuning in really, like I said, find out the things you should do in a relationship.
So true.
And the things you shouldn't do, and that when you make certain decisions and choices, that there are consequences that come along with that. There are real people with real emotions that you're hurting. You have to start to look at, I guess, the bigger picture of things and make decisions based on that, versus maybe how you're feeling right at that moment. I think last season, viewers saw me angry, upset. They saw that hurt. You guys will get a little bit of that this season, but not nearly as much as last season. You get to a place where you're either going to forgive or you're not. You're either going to move on or you're not. And greater than anything, I just really hope that women understand and see that they're not alone. Because I'll be honest, when it first happened to me, when I first found out everything, I felt like it was only me and like I was alone, right? Like this is happening to me and it ain't happening to nobody else. And that's just not the case. And so I hope that there are so many women who are like, wow, so it's not just me. Melody is going through this too. I get so many inboxes on how did you deal with it? How did you move forward? I'm in that situation now, or I've been there. And that's what it's all about, is us being able to, as girlfriends, as sisters, to be able to find someone we can relate to.
Well, thank you so much for sharing your story. Now, for all three ladies, being women of color in business, in Huntsville, what do you hope women of color see when they see the show?
Just that. We do. We want them to see that we are entrepreneurs, strong couples. We are women and we have strong men that work alongside of us. All of us are entrepreneurs, and all of us have taken different avenues to be successful. What worked for me may not work for Melody. What worked for Melody may not work for Tisha, but all of us in our own right have gained our own successes. And it doesn't mean that you don't have setbacks, because you do, in business, in love, in friendship. But what we want to do is spark conversation so you can see some of the stuff that you go through. I've been amazed how many people come up to me and say,
I know people
me and my husband
out.
was talking about that last night. And it's stuff that happens in everyday life. Nothing that we're doing on this reality show is brand new. It's not brand new. It's just that we're putting it out there for you to talk about in your house like we talk about it in our house.
So let's talk a little bit about Twitter and Instagram and people's comments. How do you deal with the fact that people aren't just watching the show, but they're commenting on the show as well? Now, I know we all love the positive. Oh, you look good. You got it going on. Your marriage is all that. But I'm quite sure you guys get some negative, too. So how do you handle people on Black Twitter
Well,
who might have something to say about what you guys are doing?
Well, it depends on what kind of time I have that day. If I got time for it that day, I'm going to write you back. And we got to, and I'm going to end it with, but have a great day, beauty, I think it's very interesting, though, that people, will actually spend time to write negative things. Like if I see something I don't like on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, I go past it and keep moving. I don't take the time to write something, right? But it's so different in reality TV, because once you open that door, the world feels like they have the right to say whatever they want. Like I just dropped a picture showing my baby bump and that I'm expecting. There's no reason anybody should have had anything negative to say. You would think, right, to say about that, but they do. So you either respond if you got time. If you don't, I may just delete it and keep it moving. So, it's all about trying to keep that positive energy around you.
So what can we expect? Because the show is, I guess the new season is starting
Tonight,
right?
Yeah.
So what's going to be new this season? I know there's a new couple that's coming into the mix. What can we expect?
I would assume for most of us, it's more of the same. We gave you like a snippet into our world in the first 8 episodes, and this next 11 is going to expound on all of those situations. We kind of left you hanging on a couple of things. We want to kind of bring those home for you and kind of help you see deeper into our relationships. You're going to get to see our blended family, whether it's going to work well, whether we hit some roadblocks. You get to see Melody and some of her options and things she has to go through in her relationship. Tisha getting into the workforce and getting out there and making them coins. So,
Picking up where we left off, pretty much.
Exactly.
Picking up where we left off.
Exactly.
Wow.
So you get to see more of it just in detail.
Now, what sets your show apart? When we look at all the shows about people's marriages, what makes Love and Marriage different from all those other marriage shows that we know are out there?
Well, the biggest thing I would say is the fact that we're not a casted group. I think that is definitely one thing that sets us apart. We are all genuinely friends before there was ever a show. We weren't put together to make a hot show, you know? And so because of that, you guys get to see real battles that friends have, right? That are real. Like, people ask us all the time, are y'all just doing that for TV? We're like, no, she worked my nerves right then. You know what I mean? It's actually real emotions, real friendships. So y'all are really getting raw stuff, not just made up or put together to make a show, but you get to see us battling a lot of things that are just genuine.
And I think some of it is the real estate aspect that we bring into our show. We have the entrepreneurs. Their family does commercial real estate. They're the builders. We do residential real estate. So I like the aspect that we have a little something for the community that we're trying to do in North Huntsville where we live. And that's a big part of our show, is that we are every day trying to give back to our community.
I want to pick it back a little bit off what Mel said, because we was actually friends in the beginning. We're still friends. You're going to see the real love. You're going to see the real struggle of trying to win our friendship back, trying to make sure we can work together, or should we let the business go because we love each other more than the business side of things. So it's really real.
All right, so final plug. The show debuts the season 2 tonight on OWN. Give it up for the ladies of Love and Marriage.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you so much.
Thank
you so much.
Thank you.